Hello everyone, my name is Nikita and we are now in the Battlestate Game Studio. 2 weeks have passed and we are ready to present our new developer diary. It's dedicated to modeling, texturing and all other sorts of artwork. And all of that will be covered by Alexander, our lead specialist in this majestic part of the game development industry. My name is Alexander, I'm the lead 3D artist at Battlestate Games. Today I'd like to tell you about our department, how do we work, what kind of tasks we face, and how do we solve them. Graphics has a major impact on the game, which can hardly be underestimated. It's a complex task and every element is really important. First, we search for references and prepare photo materials. Visit various objects personally and make photos of them. If necessary, we also add plans, technical documentation and blueprints. Then our artists combine all of the objects into a single design. My name is Vlad, I am one of the concept artists at Battlestate Games. My duties include pre-production of Escape from Tarkov project, location design, character design, and many other graphics-related tasks. Though keeping true to our passion for realism and live references, we strive to create the most appropriate visual image to present the commonplace things as interesting, meaningful, and completely justified both by gameplay and storyline of the game. Now we can start building a location. Let's focus on a small part of the location that you have already seen, and take a close look at how the separate environment props are created. My name is Alexei, and among other things, I work with environments. My tasks also include creating architectural structures. You are now looking at the draft model of a building created in 3D editor. The layout for this model is already approved, with all of its rooms and communications. On the next stage of our work, we break the building into modules. Exterior walls, rooms, corridors and stairwells. It's made for easy in-depth detailing of the specific parts and convenience of engine optimization. Further setup of each module is being conducted in the game engine. Here you can see the already set up materials with all their contents. We are using materials that allow us to blend textures by vertex color. To do that, we create a dense grid to draw on it. After we complete the settings, we can fill the building with props. My name is Maxim, I'm a 3D modeler. In our work, it's really important to pay attention to details, because it's the small details that create the right impressions. I will now use the example of environment objects in the dormitory location to tell you how exactly they were created. Even such common things as a regular door get plenty of attention. As in real life, we made our door of wood planks, created a high poly model, sculpted chippings and scratches, and then created a low poly model for the engine. As you can see, the grid is fairly simplified. On the last stage, we bake the normal map and create a texture. We finalize the small details in textures, adding macro-relief, scuffs and dirt. One of the prop models for the dormitory is a typical Soviet gas stove. We've carefully worked on all of the model elements, and that allows us, for example, to open the hatch and move the baking pans around. As you can see, this stuff fits perfectly in the environment of a Soviet dorm. Let's take a look at some other assets, which may be of secondary value, but are still detailed. This is just a small share of models required to fill one small building. We also have environments that require a tremendous amount of models. My name is Maxim, I'm a 3D modeler. Open world means huge amounts of vehicles, from 90s classics to modern models. And with our dedication to realism, requirements for vehicle details are way higher than in some other projects. I will show you the pipeline of vehicle development on example of VAZ 2106. First, we made a high poly model, using it to carefully flesh out every detail. And then created a game model, and baked it in the small details from the high poly model. We've decided to break up the model into several materials: body, interior and engine. This allows us to achieve maximum quality. This is how model looks like after the textures are finalized. Now all we need to do is to export the model and set it up in the engine. Let's take a look at the other models of environment. You can see here the in-game models with textures and setup materials. All of them have been made the same way. We've created high poly model, sculptured shears, scratches and small details. Then we've made the in-game geometry, baked small details in normal map and drawn textures. It's also vital to have a large number of universal objects to fill up wide open spaces. For instance, construction debris. For these models, we've made a tiled texture of garbage, which utilize specifically prepared objects. We scattered these objects across the surface, which allowed us to get all the maps required for texture. After that, we've drawn the texture itself. Here is the final model, infused with some additional objects to add more volume. Similar approach was used for some other textures as well. Working on environment also includes work with vegetation. Trees, bushes, grass, dry twigs, stumps. Since vegetation fills a good share of the map, we need not only make it good looking, but also optimize it for the game. We are using the SpeedTree program to create flora. It allows us to generate variant plants with correct settings in a short time. For the sake of optimization, we collect all of the foliage elements into one huge atlas. Then we create blanks and export them into SpeedTree. Now all we have to do is to set up LODs. The last LOD of the model is a plane that always faces the camera. We've managed to show you only a small part of the visual assets creation. They are really important for the game, but that's not all. We still have two big tasks: creating characters and weapons. My name is Ivan. I'm doing character models for Escape from Tarkov project. Character creation starts with studying the references and detailed concepts. Each part of the clothing and equipment is being modeled individually, to make the character look as believable as possible. All of our characters have rather complex customization. Character body is being split into three elements: head, torso and legs, for the purpose of completely changing character appearance. Also, we have the ability to equip our character with different gear, whereas vests, rigs, backpacks. As a result, we have a huge number of possible variations. For example, rig only, rig with light vest, using backpack without rig and vest, or all together. On the example of one of the scav models, I will show you the steps of a character development. We've experimented with character development for a long time and worked out the following flow. We have a basic model of combatant for each side of conflict. Based on this model, we create the specific part of clothing using real patterns and templates. At the moment, it's Scav's jacket. This program allows us to correctly simulate the real-time physics of clothes behavior. It means that all wrinkles look exactly as they would look in real life. When the main model is finished, we load everything into the brush, where we work on small details. All of this makes our characters more interesting and adds more charisma to them. At the next stage, we create an in-game model based on high poly model. After that, we work with textures and get the game model as a final result. My name is Dmitry. The Escape from Tarkov project requires an impressive characters variety. And the main distinctive feature of every human is the face. This is what I'm responsible for. The face of a human reflects individuality. We add unique nature to each character by picking different photos as references, which we use to create a collective image. After that, we transfer the model to the animation department. My name is Vlad, I'm doing weapons for Escape from Tarkov. Considering my years of experience in weapons development, joining the FT team was a real bliss. The weapon customization shown in the previous video wouldn't look as convincing without the authenticity they were created with. In our case, you can see and work with the weapon design on the customization screen, removing specific parts. During the modeling of each weapon, we carefully study the details, including the subtlest ones, even the year of its manufacturing. Different types of firearms have complex customization. We create thoroughly detailed models with all possible details: bolts, springs, mechanisms. Skillful optimization of game model grid and baking of all possible complex forms allows to use created image of weapon in the game without damage to performance. A serious share of time is allocated to textures. Each weapon gets the desired look, depending on whether it was used before or it was newly bought from a trader. During the development process, we amend the omissions of minor details, not least thanks to the active community members' comments. To some of them, we are really thankful. Looking a bit ahead, I can say that game arsenal will be really large, and even the most seasoned players will be sure to find something to fit their taste. And so the second part of the diaries comes to an end. We really hope that you enjoyed it, but even if you didn't, visit our site and forum where you can tell everyone if you like the new diaries or not. Also, subscribe to our channel, visit our website escapefromtarkov.com. And well, bots Alpha and Beta draw closer and closer, as well as plenty of new interesting materials that will dispel your doubts if you still have them. Stay with us and stay in great mood!